Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Ishmael from Conjured Realm. So in today's video is going to be a continuation or a part 2 of my previous video, getting back to the basics and how to manifest. So today I want to touch up on more of the basics that I did not get a chance to talk about in my last video. And to start off, the first one we're going to be talking about today is everyone is you pushed out. When you hear people talk about everyone is you pushed out, essentially it means that people are recreating the assumptions that you carry in your thoughts outward into your 3D. So everything you assume about a specific group of people, everything you assume about your favorite shopping center, everything you assume about your favorite teacher, everything you assume about girls, or everything you assume about boys, or everything you assume about your parents, they have no choice but to play out the quote-unquote script that you've given them based off of what you believe in your thoughts. So I think I gave this example before about finding the parking space in a supermarket after not getting a parking space the first time when you went there. So because you carry the assumption that you didn't get parking or front door parking at a supermarket, that assumption now carries on after you come back. So you'll notice that when you go to that supermarket again, you'll never get front door parking because the assumption is that you don't get front door parking at this specific supermarket. Same thing with, like, say you've never had luck in love. Now every time you come across a situation where you are going to get with someone, you notice that something has to happen to make your assumption true. So if your assumption is you're not lucky in love, then every time you have someone that you're interested in, it never works out. It cannot work out because that is the script you have given your subconscious with this type of situation. Same thing with money. If you repeat and assume that money is something that always leaves your life or it falls out of your hand like water, then every time you get money, there has to be a situation that proves you correct. So you get bills, unexpected payments you have to make, or things like that. And I know I said everyone is you pushed out, like everyone, every person. This also applies to situations or things. So yeah, same thing. The second one I thought I should talk about, because a lot of people don't know this, and it's honestly very surprising that a lot of coaches are not mentioning this, but affirming. So people say that affirming is a technique. Affirming is not a technique. Affirming is just thinking. Okay, I want you to remember this moving forward. Affirming is not a technique. Affirming is your thoughts. Affirming is thinking. Every single thought you have is an affirmation. So don't think that after you set 10 minutes out of your day to affirm that you could think anything you want outside of the 10 minutes, because most likely it's not going to end well with you getting your desire. And this is something else I want to move on to as to why people are not manifesting even after I've given them clear, concise instructions on how to bring about a desire. Well, it has to do with the fact that you set time to affirm, you set time to visualize, you set time to script for a desire to come about in your life, right? Whether that be 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes, whatever. But people go wrong by doing this. When you are done affirming, scripting, or visualizing, you cannot go back to the old story of yourself. You cannot go back to complaining. You cannot go back to telling the old story, because, like I mentioned previously, you manifest based off what your mind or thoughts are majority of the time thinking of. So if you're only affirming, scripting, and visualizing for 20-30 minutes a day, and you have the whole day left, and in that whole day all you're doing is complaining and like doubting and wavering, what do you think is going to win? The part of you that's affirming, complaints, wavering, and doubts, that part is going to win, because that is what you're telling yourself majority of the time. So you cannot set time outside to visualize, script, and affirm, and then expect that to work when all day you're complaining, you're all day you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. So people get this very confused, and it's why a lot of people are not manifesting, because you need to pay attention to your thoughts all day, every single day. It's okay to take breaks, but when you're trying to manifest something, you cannot go back to the old story because you can only exist in one timeline, one reality at a time. So if the one that you're choosing is the one where you're saying you don't have this, that, people don't treat you well, or money is not in your life, that's the one you have to continue to live because you can only be in one reality at a time. So I tell people, shut down your senses when you're manifesting anything. Stop paying attention to your five senses, ignore what you see, ignore what you hear, and pay attention to what's in your imagination because that is where your true reality lies. Everything you see in your imagination is what you will then have to experience. So if you don't like what you're seeing in the 3D, stop paying attention to it. Stop giving it energy. Stop feeding it more validation that it's here. Pay more attention to what you visualize. Pay more attention to what you speak or see in your thoughts rather than what's out in the 3D. Because everything that's here in the 3D is old. What you mainly want to focus on is the new story. Above everything else, I tell you guys this all the time. Think of the situation in the new story and stay there. The person who's affirming the new story is not complaining that after 2 days it's not working. Why would you do that? Because if you already had it, you would not be complaining. And this is the part that gets me a little frustrated with people, is the questioning. If something is not happening yet for you, it doesn't mean that you're not going to get it. It just means you have to keep going. I use the same example about the cake. You just bake the cake and put it in the oven. After 5 minutes, you open the door. Why are you getting upset that the cake is not ready? It's not ready. You just put it into the oven and it's still watery. Let it finish baking. Same thing with manifestation. After 2 days, you cannot expect change, especially when you have so much belief in the old story and you're now starting to encompass your life with the new thoughts and new affirmations and the new visualizations. Keep going, and if you see things that are contradictory to what you are saying, it just is old news. You don't have to pay attention to it. You just focus on the new story until it gets here. And that's all you have to do when you are manifesting anything you want. I think I covered mainly all of the basics with manifestation. If you guys have any questions, please leave them down below. I will get to you as soon as I can. Also, if you need more help, I offer one-on-one coaching. You can contact me at conjuredrealm@gmail.com. I have open availability. We can get started as soon as possible with your desires if you need help with them. Anyways, if you guys like this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, hit the bell notification icon so you're notified every time I post a new video. All right, guys, happy manifesting.